Good morning, everybody. I hope that you all had a wonderful time and that you enjoyed last week's lesson. Like I mentioned last week, we are spending the rest of our time this year finding out the answer to this question: who is God? And today we are going to discover that God is the Creator. All of our activities will focus around that theme. What is your favorite part about nature? For me personally, I just love being outside in nature. Whether it is hiking or camping, or when it's warm and in the summer, going out and spending time on the golf course, being able to see all of the beautiful trees and grass and hear the birds and everything. I also love being able to witness the changes of the season, especially the transition from winter into spring, where all of God's creation comes back to life. The grass turns green again, the trees bud, and the flowers and the leaves grow again. It is absolutely beautiful, and it shows how awesome our God is. Now it's your time to share. I want you to take the next couple of minutes to share with somebody in your house what your favorite thing about nature is. Ready? Go. There are so many neat things about the way that God made the world. Today, we will find out what God Himself said about the things that He created. We're going to explore the Bible to see what God has to say. The Bible is God's special book, written by God and about God, so that we can get to know our Creator. How cool is that? Our story today is probably one of my favorite stories that is found in the Bible. And this gentleman's name has a name that is close to mine. It is the story of Job. And there once was a man in the Bible named Job, who was going through some really hard times. He wanted to ask God some questions about why things were so hard for him. But God's answer didn't really explain why Job was going through some hard times. But it did show how awesome and amazing our God is as a creator. Let's see what God showed Job about all that he had made and why we can trust him. Our activity is going to be kind of fun and kind of creative. I am going to read some verses to you. And after I finish reading the set of verses, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to to strike a pose about what I read in those verses and what creation God made. I want you to use your creativity and the supplies that you find maybe in your living room or in your bedroom, wherever you are watching this video. But here's the catch. You have to use at least one item from your room or from the room that you are in, and you only have 10 seconds to do it. Are you up for the challenge? Let's give it a shot. Our first set of verses come from Job 38, verses 8 through 11. Who enclosed the sea behind doors when it bursts from the womb? When I made the clouds its garment and total darkness its blanket? When I determined its boundaries and put its bars and doors in place? When I declared, you may come this far, but no farther. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Strike that pose. Great. Oceans are huge. If you took the tallest mountain, which is Mount Everest, and turned it upside down and put it in the center of the ocean, it would still be far, far from touching the bottom of the ocean. Not only are oceans huge, but we've only just begun to study and to understand them. We've explored only 5 to 10% of the ocean, and scientists think that there are thousands of species in the ocean that we don't even know about yet. Set number 2. Job 38, 12 through 15. Have you ever in your life commanded the morning or assigned the dawn its place, so that it may seize the edge of the earth and shake the wicked out of it? The earth is changed as clay is by a seal. Its hills stand out like the folds of a garment. Light is withheld from the wicked, and the arm raised in violence is broken. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Strike your pose. Good. Fun fact. It takes about 8 minutes and 20 seconds for the light from the sun to reach the earth. It's that many miles. It's so many miles away, but it only takes a little over 8 minutes to reach the earth. Set number 3, verses 31 through 33. Can you fasten the chains of the Pleiades or loosen the belt of Orion? Can you bring out the constellations in their season and lead the bear and her cubs? Do you know the laws of heaven? Can you impose its authority on earth? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Strike your pose. God created a lot of stars. Scientists estimate that there are 1 septillion stars. That's 1 with 24 zeros after it. That's how many stars are in the universe. And some scientists think that that's probably a low guess and that there are more than that. Set number 4, verses 34 through 38. Can you command the clouds so that a flood of water covers you? Can you send out lightning bolts and they go? Do they report to you? Who put wisdom in the heart or gave the mind understanding? Who has the wisdom to number the clouds, or who can tilt the water jars of heaven? When the dust hardens like cast metal, and the clods of dirt stick together. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Strike your pose. Lightning is big and powerful. Most lightning strikes are 2 to 3 miles long and have 1 million volts of power inside of them. 1 million volts. That's a lot of energy. Set number 5. Job 39, verses 19 through 21. Do you give strength to the horse? Do you adorn its neck with a mane? Do you make him leap like a locust? His proud snorting fills one with terror. He paws in the valley and rejoices in its strength. He charges into battle. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Strike your pose. Horses run really, really fast. Around 27 miles an hour on average. The fastest horse ever could run 55 miles an hour. That's about as fast as your mom or dad usually drives their car. The last verses. Chapter 39, verses 26 to 28. Does the hawk take flight by your understanding and spread its wing to the south? Does the eagle soar at your command and make its nest on high? It lives on a cliff where it spends the night. Its stronghold is on a rocky crag. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Strike your pose. Eagles' wings are huge and heavy, so it takes a lot of energy for them to flap their wings. Instead, they catch the air currents, and that's how they soar and glide up in the sky. One eagle was observed to flap her wings only 2 times total in an hour worth of flying. I hope you guys had fun with that activity. Out of everything that God made, what is your favorite thing that He created? I think of everything that we read, my favorite, I think, is either the horse or the eagle, and how powerful they are. All of those things that you just said are all amazing things that God created. We're now going to watch a video that talks about a lot of the things that God created. Maybe while you watch this video, you might see your favorite thing.
Welcome to Thailand. We're taking a hot air balloon trip around the world to see some of God's amazing creations. When God made the world, He created everything, from land to water to plants and animals. Thailand is such an incredible place. It spans almost 200,000 square miles and has a lot of interesting animals. About 1/10 of every kind of animal in the world lives in Thailand. Can you believe that?
Look at those water buffaloes.
Awesome! They're called kwai in the Thai language. In English, they're called water buffalo because they like to spend most of their time in water. It's cool that God made these huge creatures to love the water. Let's go explore another country. Where do you think we are now? We're flying over a desert in India. God made all kinds of different climates, and deserts cover about 33% of land on Earth. Hey, check out those camels. God created camels with a super cool skill. They can drink about 40 gallons of water at once. They can store it up and go months without drinking for long journeys. That's how God made them able to survive in the desert. Next, we're going to someplace really cool. Literally. Whoa! Check out these snow-covered peaks here in Asia. Some peaks around the world are so high and so cold that they stay covered in snow year-round. Snow leopards like to live up here. They usually live up to 18,000 feet above sea level. God created them to have very thick fur to help them survive in crazy chilly temperatures. But we don't have thick fur. Let's go to someplace warmer. Here we are in Zambia. I see some giraffes down there. God sure was creative when He made the millions of animals around the world. Did you know God had a reason for making giraffes so tall? Giraffes are the tallest land animal in the world, which helps them keep a lookout for animals like lions. We've seen some big examples of God's creations from our balloon, but you don't have to have a hot air balloon to see what God has created. Just look around you. Your friends, family, and pets are also some of God's creations. The trees, flowers, and clouds in the sky are also created by God. Everything you see around you is a reminder of God's awesome gifts. Another way to see God's big creations is to look up at night. The stars you see are trillions of miles away. God's universe is huge. But God didn't just make the big stuff. He also made a very, very small world around us that we can't even see with our eyes. If you ever get the chance, you can see all of that through an amazing tool called a microscope. This is a plant underneath a microscope. We've all seen plants before, but have you seen these little moving things? They're called microorganisms. So tiny. You can see so many amazing things under a microscope that you couldn't see with just your eyes alone. See this leaf? So much activity going on. What do you think this is? It's a snowflake. From the big giraffes to the tiny microorganisms on leaves, God created all things, big and small, to show His glory. Wow, God!
I think it is safe to say that God made all these impressive and powerful things. But what does that show you about God? It shows us that God made our whole world and everything in it. If you remember back to the creation story, we heard that God spoke everything into creation. That means that everything that God created, He created by only using His words. He spoke the words, and it was so. God said, "Let there be light. Let there be water. Let there be whatever." And it was so. No one but God can create something out of nothing. All of you used creativity as you figured out how to use household items and your own bodies to show what God made. And you all did an awesome job. But God's creation is more incredible than anything that we can think of. After Job heard all that God had to say, he was amazed by God. He couldn't think of anything else to say to God because he was so amazed by how God created everything and how he still cares for his creation. We learned today that God is our creator. He is unmatched by anyone else. We can make things out of craft supplies or other things that God has made, but we can't make something out of nothing like God was able to. But what we can do is honor God's creation by taking care of it. I hope you had fun today in today's Bible story, and I can't wait to share another one with you next week.